Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to the Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth. Today is Thoughtful Thursday, and we're talking about defining moments in the Bible. And this moment in Joshua's life was absolutely amazing in how he responded to it. See, Joshua replaced Moses leading the Israelites to the Promised Land, and they faced an obstacle, just like how Moses, he faced so many obstacles leading the Israelites to the Promised Land, like the Red Sea. And similar to the Red Sea, they faced the Jordan River at its high point here. The banks were completely full, and this was a huge obstacle, and yet God said to cross it. And out of that obedience, Joshua led them and said, hey, step forward, let's walk through. And miraculously, just like the Red Sea parted, the Jordan River parted. Now listen to what Joshua says to the people as they were crossing the river here. This is Joshua chapter 4, starting in verse 1. When the whole nation had finished crossing the Jordan, the Lord said to Joshua, choose 12 men from among the people, one from each tribe, and tell them to take up 12 stones from the middle of the Jordan, from right where the priests are standing, and carry them over with you, and put them down at a place where you stay tonight. So Joshua called together the 12 men he had appointed from the Israelites, one from each tribe, and said to them, go over before the ark of the Lord your God into the middle of the Jordan. Each of you should take up a stone on his shoulder, according to the number of the tribes of the Israelites, to serve as a sign among you. In the future, when your children ask you, what do these stones mean? Tell them that the flow of the Jordan was cut off before the ark of the Lord. When it had crossed the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off. These stones are to be set as a memorial to the people of Israel forever. And I think it's so important to have those, to set that defining moment into a memorial, remembering God's faithfulness, remembering his provision, remembering his miraculous power. And that's exactly what God tells Joshua to do. And Joshua was obedient. And I wanted to read one more verse in Joshua chapter 4, verse 15. That day the Lord exalted Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they stood in awe of him all the days of his life, just as they had stood in awe of Moses. You know, that defining moment for Joshua gave him the confidence, because God knew all the things that he was going to endure and the obstacles. It was just two chapters later that God was going to have them march around Jericho and have the walls miraculously crumble down. But it was that defining moment, and it was out of that obedience to cross that Jordan River that he was able to have that obedience to march around the walls of Jericho. You know, there are times in our lives where we have to put our complete trust in God, even when that obstacle seems big. You know, choosing to have that faith and that confidence that God knows what's best. And when we put our trust in a limitless God, our opportunities are limitless, because he is the God of miracles. He is a limitless God. So let's put our trust in him. Just like how Joshua here, he was obedient and he trusted God. And look at what God did in and through him. Think about your life. Think about all that God has in store for you. Let's choose to put our confidence in him today. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for another Daily Dose for Spiritual Growth.